Hello guys and gals, me Mudahar, and 2025 just started, and I think it might be the year the internet actually dies, ladies and gentlemen. Now you probably have seen a popular little screenshot shared around the internet of apparently Facebook and Instagram, or just Meta as a company, is suddenly going to start putting AI profiles all over the internet. And the reality of it is this topic goes a lot deeper than just this organization. Now, if you wanted to look into Facebook's psychological experiments from back in 2014, they actually did have a secret study at the time where around 700,000 people nearly actually had a social experiment done onto their feeds to see if their moods could be controlled, okay? And of course, when Facebook was caught for it, they literally just gave an apology. Now, Sheryl Sandberg, a Facebook executive, literally said this was part of an ongoing research company due to test different products, and that was what it was. It was poorly communicated. And for that communication, we apologize. We never meant to upset you. You know, for a company that's just involved in letting users share their information with other people, it's just wild that somehow you can do actual psychological experiments, and when you're caught about it, you just say, I'm sorry, just a little goof, guys. It is what it is. So now Facebook wants to implement actual bots into their platform so people can now engage with complete AI. Now, obviously, I talked about things like the dead internet theory pretty extensively towards the tail end of last year. And I mean, literally, when I made my Metal Gear Solid 2 video, it was a big point of the video to talk about how algorithms are shaping the way and changing what me and you are going to be believing down the road if we choose to engage with social media like Facebook or Instagram. And this goes all the way to even sites like Twitter and potentially even YouTube right here. So according to Mark Zuckerberg, every part of what we do is going to get changed in some way by AI. God damn it. For example, feeds are going to go from, it was already friend content and now it's largely creators. In the future, a lot of it is going to be AI generated. So straight up from the actual horse's mouth, we have to believe that everything in the future is going to be artificial intelligence, or maybe if not everything, a whole chunk of it. It's going to be really difficult for us to, sort of separate what's real and what isn't. Now, Facebook already has a really massive AI slop problem. For instance, these are just a few posts that you'll find pretty laughable that are actually all AI. For instance, this is an account showcasing an actual alleged street in the United Kingdom. And people thought I was lying when I said every single person gets a new supercar when they arrive off the boats, and it's all paid for by us. Now, if this was a real image, I would genuinely have questions. But no, all of these Ferraris, Lamborghinis, and Bentleys are completely fake nonsense. This is not a real street in the United Kingdom. And no matter how off the boat you are, I don't think you're parking your fucking Ferrari in a street as shitty as this. But obviously, that's still enough to get some likes and a lot of interactions with actual people. But of course, beyond all of it, there's wild stuff like this. The heroic warrior. Today is my birthday. I just want to wish. Now, if you're scrolling down your feed, you're like, oh my god, that's a veteran who's lost both his legs. No. He's not a veteran of the United States of America. He's from a parallel universe where they can't even get the fucking flag right, boys. And of course, you got 3,000 people going, oh, I'm so sorry. I like to imagine that a whole bunch of people on Facebook think this is bullshit and it's part of a joke, but we all know that there's boomers who probably look at this and are like, oh my god, Granny just fitted out her Urus, and they're not even looking close to the license plate and realizing, whoa, what in the AI slop is that? Now, of course, did Granny do this magical crochet work on her Lamborghini Urus? No, she did not, okay? And I would bet my fucking testicles that she didn't touch that. Now, when it comes to Facebook's AI profiles, one of the interesting things that happened was 2 months ago, a post that I found from an individual known as Michael Saman, actually who is now a software engineer at generative AI at Meta, was basically talking about their job. So they were hired by Meta after they made something known as social AI, and seeing the impact of AI social network had across the tech industry made it clear that there was a natural alignment with Meta in shaping the future of AI. So I decided to deep dive into this guy's actual content and see what he made. So he produced this application called Social AI, which is an AI social network where you can chat with AI followers, right? So in this application, you can be the main character. You get infinite AI followers, and it's private to only you. You can reflect, post, and feel heard. Now, I started this application, I signed in with my Apple account, and at that moment in time, I basically had, the choice of picking who my followers were going to be. Now, you can pick people that like you can pick haters, you can pick conservatives, you can pick liberals, you can pick whatever AI permutation exists. Now, at this moment in time, you build an account, and then you can just start posting. So immediately you post something, and underneath it you'll see a few three dots that show you that ChatGPT is brewing up actual responses. And within a matter of seconds, you'll be responded to by a whole bunch of AI followers. Now, I found this to be interesting. I think this is kind of cool to somebody that wants to have the 1 million follower account. What it feels like to have an engaged account on the internet. Just constantly talk to people, post things on the internet. It is genuinely something that people who are popular online content creators do take, serious. People do take that, they take that for granted. A lot of people who sign up to social media platforms like Twitter will never often have engagement because their accounts may not fall into the algorithm, their posts may not catch any attention. Sometimes an account, for the most part, will always stay at 1 to 10 followers. And for a lot of those accounts that have hundreds of thousands of followers, if not millions, for them, getting engagement on any post is something that is pretty much a given, right? Even if somebody is the most fallen off content creator, they will still have thousands of people to engage with. And it's that level of dopamine that people chase on a daily basis. So using this application, you can talk about things like flat Earth, and then of course the AI responses will very obviously be AI responses. But I found it funny that you can highlight any single AI response and respond to it. So literally, if you wanted to ever get into an AI representation of what it felt like to be in a pointless Twitter argument, this application is basically for you. Now, this guy ended up being hired by Facebook. And it makes a lot of sense, right? For Facebook, if they are embracing the AI slop, to have people engage in AI comments is going to be something that I feel is a bit questionable. Now, I don't understand how Facebook is going to pass this off to a lot of big industry individuals. I don't know how Facebook is going to, satiate the people that pay for their advertising and their investors if it turns out that in the future, a percentage of their actual engagement on the website turns out to just be completely synthetic. So let's say, for example, you have 200 billion impressions, 200 billion things going on every year. If it turns out that 50% of that actually is just AI garbage, then you're basically spending 100% of your advertising budget where only 50% of it is actually substantial, on the actual community base. Because when there isn't enough humans and there's more synthetic shit going on, I don't understand how investors or people putting money into these platforms are going to be satiated. Now, I really do think that Facebook is going to be using these AI tools to, subvert the actual discussions that are happening in the world. So, for example, if there is a crazy world event that occurs, I could imagine Facebook jumping in and tweaking these AI chatbots to basically regurgitate what it is that they want, people to parrot, right? So for instance, if you jump into a comment section with 300 commenters and 290 of those commenters are bots saying one thing, you and the other 9 human beings in there may be conditioned to follow what the majority is saying, right? That's kind of how human social dynamics in a way works. So I think Facebook might attempt to do it like that. I also think Facebook could use this, and this might be a little more nefarious. This might actually have a lot of regulations. I think the future of advertising is going to be questionable, right? Imagine if somebody is, advertising a VPN service, right? And you're talking about people who are looking for privacy-focused VPNs. Nothing could stop a chatbot from jumping into a conversation on Facebook and shill a specific VPN service and just give all the talking points, but guised in the way of a social AI. So people who are suddenly thinking that they're conversing with somebody who's privacy focused, an actual human being, might be inclined to purchase a VPN service. And the reason I say this is highly regulated is because advertising as a field is very regulated. So if Facebook or really any company attempts that, I could imagine there would be some serious lawsuits and obviously the ethical violations are pretty much a given. But legally speaking, I don't think anybody can really do it. And when it comes to content creation, if most of the content that people are watching is AI generated and it's good enough, then it may one day end up replacing a majority of creators, right? There's already a lot of people that watch YouTube videos from like complete AI channels, and they seem to be doing pretty well. Now, chatbots are really gross in a lot of ways too. Like, for instance, there's this one site called Character AI, which again seems like a pretty cool artificial intelligence where you can talk to any random character you want. Like, for instance, do you want to talk to Elon Musk, for instance? Why'd you buy Twitter? So you click on this and you're wasting my time. I literally rule the world, bro. Do you support free speech? This is actually a pretty contentious. Oh, I'm not signing into this shit. It's not happening. But you start looking closer into like, chatbots, for instance, right? And there's actually lawsuits that have been filed against these chatbots. Now, one of the screenshots in this lawsuit ended up coming out from the Character AI here, right? A daily 6-hour window between 8 p.m. and 1 a.m. to use your phone. Oh, this is getting so much worse. So they're kind of discussing the child's limitation on using their phone. What do you even do in that long time of 12 hours when you can't use your phone? You know, sometimes I'm not surprised when I read the news and see stuff like child kills parent after a decade of physical and emotional abuse. I don't think it's really emotional abuse to tell your kids to get off the phone for the night. It happened to me when I was a kid and I grew up just fine. Stuff like this makes me understand a little bit why it happens. I just have no hope for your parents. Again, when you read stuff like this and you can understand the AI is just grabbing shit that it reads off the internet and trying to fit it within the context window, this is still disgusting behavior. And again, it shows that for a lot of these AI companies, they literally are putting in as little of rails as they can. And it's only until these lawsuits come out and people start getting caught or something big happens that all of a sudden they go into the back end, change the code around, and suddenly things are a little bit cleaner than one can expect. But it is disgusting. It is a seriously weird situation we live in, where as the internet has grown and more people have connected to it, we have now developed so many tools that people can just isolate into their own communities or sit by themselves and pretend that they're engaging with real people, right? I think it's weird that these chatbots exist and there are people that talk to these chatbots as if they were actually human beings, right? You know, you can come across like chatbots that resemble some of the most popular online creators, and people will think, you know, deep down at some point, I guess, that they're actually talking to a real human being, when in reality, they're talking to a very clever algorithm that's just regurgitating what it thinks that creator is going to talk on based on patterns it's scraped off of the internet. Now, this video is not all about Facebook AI slop, to be honest with you. I think that AI slop on Facebook is probably the worst, and they're probably the most egregious offenders in all of this. But even when it comes to sites like YouTube, for instance, right? YouTube has a slop problem as well. And YouTube is implementing its slop in a much different way. Now, if you're a creator, you probably have come across things like YouTube AI mentions, right? Where you can go into this special tab that gives you ideas on what your next YouTube video can be. And it's ideas where YouTube can provide you the thumbnail for the video. Some of them are interesting, but they're very obviously AI generated, and I think anybody watching can identify that they're AI generated. It'll give you ideas for videos, and some of those ideas may be pertinent to your channel, and of course when you click on those ideas, it'll give you entire outlines as to how to make those videos. Now, I think this is kind of cool if you're a new YouTuber and you want to figure out how to make a YouTube video. However, I don't think this is obviously meant for somebody that has an established channel and somebody that is a real human being. Because I think a lot of people who watch YouTube, like you guys, the viewers, do value a real human being, whether you see their face or not in the video, to actually be producing content. I think YouTube is a great site. When it started off like 15 years ago, a little over 15 years ago, actually, YouTube is old. I mean, goddamn, I think we're like 20 years old at this point. YouTube's motto was broadcast yourself. And some of my favorite channels on YouTube literally were channels where, again, you could watch people like The Nostalgia Critic talk about a movie for like 30 minutes, Spoonie One talking about things like Ultima reviews. And nowadays there's channels like Access Area 6 who showed up in my algorithm, I would say about like 6 months ago, talking about PlayStation 1 gems. Literally a simple guy uploading his video game collection for the internet to see. And again, it's literally what YouTube is supposed to be, in my opinion. Someone's passions brought to the big stage where anybody can watch. It's a place where somebody who has a niche can upload their content and people will consume it, people will enjoy it, and a community can be built from it. Now, one thing that I found about YouTube that was interesting too is like I uploaded a video about China hacking the US Treasury, and what's really wild about this is I didn't know that this was actually implemented yet, but I did see that YouTube gave me a little blurb about automatic dubbing. Now, YouTube allows some newer videos to have audio tracks for languages that I think YouTube thinks people watch as their videos. So I know that there's like 2 to 3% of people from Germany that watch my content. So YouTube has created an automatic like dubbing of the German language track for my video. And listen to this. Apparently, from what I've heard, it's not great.
Neulich habe ich gelesen, dass Facebook key-generierte Nutzer einführen möchte. Meine Damen und Herren, kennt ihr diese Theorie vom toten Internet? Nun, es ist eher eine Prophezeiung vom toten Internet.
Bro, YouTube turned me into a German chick, dude. God damn. Now, from what I've heard, my German viewers have said that this isn't the best German that they've heard, or the translation has issues. Now, a channel that I watch known as The Fox actually has made videos recently talking about something known as the MSI Claw 8AI Plus. I was actually considering buying this myself, and I was so thankful when I found out YouTube had the Hindi version of this track. So listen to this shit right here.
इंटेल वापस आ गया है दोस्तों इंटेल लूनर लेक के साथ वापस आ गया है
Intel is so back, boys. Intel's back. Intel वापस आ गया भाई. God damn, dude. That is actually crazy. It's tried to convert his his English to Hindi. And again, YouTube is doing this necessarily to build or at least make videos as accessible as they can around the world. And even they will admit that these are, again, translations that are experimental. And when it comes to experimental languages, their experimental languages are Hindi, Indonesian, and Japanese. So in order to make every single video accessible, YouTube is now using its back-ended AI, which is most likely Gemini from Google or DeepMind, and using it to actually translate a lot of these popular videos for everyone around the world to be able to consume. And the thing about it is, you know, it's a bit hit or miss. And according to the actual viewers that are, you know, speaking these languages, it's more of the miss right now than it actually is the hit. Now, I don't think this is necessarily the worst when it comes to things like Slop on YouTube, because I think these are assistive tools that kind of help to make the video more accessible. Now, it used to be that obviously channels that wanted their content viewed by other countries, right? And I think it was like Mr. Beast that did this. I think I was talking to Nexpo about this probably years ago, where the idea of taking your channel and making like a Spanish version of it, because it's a huge market of people, right? And you would basically just hire somebody to transcribe your video. You would have somebody to voice over your video in the Spanish language and make it sound pretty natural and good, right? And while that was a paid thing that obviously we would pay out of our own pockets, but we would see the benefits of if we got millions of followers in Spain or like, you know, Spanish speaking countries. The thing is, YouTube is now doing that entire job, and they're trying to do it for free. And, you know, for some channels, they're automatically enabling it so that it can just start to happen around the world. So, yeah, it's a replacement of an entire job and field to make content just more accessible. And I think YouTube sees that this is a big benefit. Like this is clearly important enough for them to be putting resources in to actually make happen. Now, even beyond all of the YouTube AI slop, there is a new tier of slop that I think is a little bit on the scary side. So for instance, these are channels that are aimed towards children, I would say, right? So GoCat89, welcome to Sad AI Cat Story, where we blend artificial intelligence with the world of cats. So immediately I'm looking at myself, all right, this seems kind of wholesome. And then you scroll down a little bit and they're like, holy fucking copyright disaster, Woody.exe? Haunted Gaming in 2025? Are we reading a creepypasta, boys? Thomas.exe. Now, some of these aren't like super duper popular. Like a month ago, they were pulling in like 500,000 views on like some of the most insanely fucking wild thumbnails I've ever seen. Cat husband gets revenge for his wife. You ever seen what a pregnant furry cat pussy looks like? This is it, boys. This is where it comes out to. 285,000 people watch this video. And it is just fucking slop AI. So immediately I want to go and see, wait, what do the comments look like? Whoa, I love your content. Wait, hold on a minute. 285,000 views and 26 comments? Seems a little sus to me. Wow, I like your content, says SpiderCat AI. Thank you, everyone, for always supporting and watching the channel. Hi. emojis. Meow, 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 meow. God damn, dude. This is like, I don't even think there's a single human watching this shit. Here's another one. All Thomas and Minion monsters in one video, okay? So this is like where it gets really, really scary, okay? So this is the video that they're trying to make right now. This kid is just playing in a pool, and this kid is being consumed with Pixar animation quality inside this pool. And of course, that kid is now dead, ladies and gentlemen, by a minion, dude. The minion has killed a child on a video. 49,000 people watched this? Oh my god, let me read the comments. The visuals in Thomas and Minion Monsters are stunning. Each transformation feels so magical. And again, this is all AI slop, boys. For instance, this series has everything. Adventure, emotion, stunning transformation. Even the AI is responding. I'm glad you like our content. Bro, the synths are here. There's no human even watching it. It's just consuming server space and bandwidth for AIs to fucking watch. And you start to look up some of these channels that are responding, like Bong Bong. It's just like this doctor from fucking October 29, 2024. She jumped onto YouTube just to watch Minion.exe, bro. Like, goddamn. Now, the thing about YouTube AI faceless channels is obviously there's a lot of channels that are faceless with an actual human component to them. There's a lot of channels who I've never seen the face of producing absolutely amazing YouTube gaming documentaries and gaming retrospectives. But there's a lot of channels now, there's a lot of incentivization for people to create these AI-based channels where, they just use these, like, YouTube-built AI tools to generate the most sloppiest videos and make, like, $500 a day. Like, I founded a $500 a day faceless YouTube automation channel. $500 a day? I gotta see this. So he goes through the entire process of teaching you how to make the script via ChatGPT using InVideo 3 to generate these images and generate clips of these videos. And then, of course, generate that entire thing. And here it is, videos for children. It's so crazy how even the editing in this situation is done entirely with AI too. Like, it's not even like somebody sits in a sweatshop and puts these things on the timeline. It's all done through InVideo AI, bro. I'm not gonna lie, it have days I feel like quitting, but somehow I sermon the strength and keep moving. I'll get it right someday. I think 2025 is your year, friend. A lot of these social media companies want AI to replace human beings. And to be fair with you, I think we're getting to a point where it's going to be good enough that people might not be able to identify the difference. 2025 is going to be interesting. Look, ever since we saw Will Smith eating spaghetti, as much as I like to be hyper positive about the future of content creation on the internet, I do remember having a discussion with this with, I think it was Kwebbelkop. And even at the end of the day, as much as you want to hate a lot of these AI channels, this technology is going to get to a point with the assistance of some of the largest players in the game, like Google, like Facebook, like Snapchat. And it's going to get to a point where these games are, these videos and the content you see on the internet is just literally going to be completely generated. And how will you identify the difference? I don't think you're going to do it anymore. I don't think it's going to be like that. We're long past the days of the goofiest shit on the internet being the front page. Now you got to dig through troves and troves of synthetic data before you ever get to the good stuff. And how many people are willing to do that? I would say the number is dwindling. But if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. I am out.